Hey guys, it's Grand Admiral Thrawn fan, and I'm back with another Black Series review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at one of my favorite Jedi from the prequels, Aayla Secura. I think Hasbro did an amazing job on her figure, and I can't wait to actually talk about the figure. But in today's video, I'm actually going to be doing things a little bit differently, because today, instead of talking about the figure right away, I'm actually going to be starting off this video talking about the box. So this is Aayla Secura from Attack of the Clones, which right out of the gate, I kind of feel like they should have made her figure for Revenge of the Sith. I mean, it's just that she doesn't really have anything that stands out in Attack of the Clones. In Revenge of the Sith, you remember her scene during Order 66, and you remember her on Felucia. But in Attack of the Clones, she's kind of just a Jedi in the background during the Geonosis arena. So I do feel like they kind of should have made the figure for Revenge of the Sith. With that out of the way, I still think this is an amazing figure for Attack of the Clones. I think the box is a really cool box. They did a great job picking a picture, because this is a great picture of Aayla to use for the box. It's the same one on the side here. It's just a great pose. She's actually number 3 in Attack of the Clones. I was expecting there to be a lot more characters before her. And if you look in the background, you can actually see one of those droid orbital battle stations taking off from Geonosis, and a lot of cool background details. And yeah, I think this is just a cool box. This is my favorite type of wall art box, the ones where you get to see the figure and you can line it up and make the picture. On the back, it says, a cunning warrior and Jedi Knight during the rise of the Clone Wars. Aayla fought on many battlefields, a master of the emotional detachment necessary in the Jedi Order. She tried to pass on what she learned. You have no idea how hard it is to read that wearing this helmet. But yeah, I think the color is a great idea too for Attack of the Clones. I do think a lot of Hasbro things have been using red though. So I wish they could have maybe found a different color, but overall, I think this is a really nice box. Now that I've gotten my opinions on the box out of the way, let me get started talking about the figure. This is an amazing figure. I was wanting an Aayla Secura figure for so long, and Hasbro finally made one, and they did not disappoint. They did an amazing job capturing her design. And she has one of the most unique designs out of any Jedi. I really like how they captured that, because if you look, her lower half of her outfit is a more dark red, and then the upper half is more of a brownish coloring. I really like that. There are some parts where it's like a plastic that'll flap on and it's looser, and then the rest is just the whole leg mold. I really like that. One really cool little detail they have here is how the boots are actually kind of a new mold for her feet, of how it's actually like a boot. That's pretty cool, and they go all the way up till you get to her clothing. Here you have some part of her outfit that hangs there. And then around her waist, there is actually a spot where if you were to take her lightsaber and remove the hilt, you could connect it onto her waist and have it like she's just walking around with her lightsaber. I am not taking off the hilt while wearing this. I am afraid I would break it. But then as you move up the figure, they have the correct detailing of how she only has one of her sleeves actually being a full sleeve. The other arm is just exposed. I really like that detailing of how they got the arm right and everything. It's her left arm. And then as you move up the figure, they actually have like her head wrap on. That's pretty cool. I really like all of that. And I think they just did an amazing job of capturing her species of the Twi'lek design right. They did a great job. Her skin coloring in Attack of the Clones, like the texture of blue, is actually a lot darker in the movie. However, I don't take problem with that, because in everything else she shows up in, she's kind of animated, like in Clone Wars or in comics. She's drawn to be a lighter shade of blue. So I do think they found a nice middle ground of where this blue is not too dark and it's not too bright. My lighting is a bit off. The figure is actually a bit like lighter than how it is here. But I think they found a really nice middle ground. And honestly, I'd prefer the character to be a little lighter than darker blue. I know that's how she looks in the movies, but when I think of her, I kind of think of Revenge of the Sith and Clone Wars and everything. But yeah, I really think they did an amazing job on capturing her skin texture, and the Twi'lek tailheads. I don't actually remember the technical term. I keep thinking Leku, but that's what Ahsoka's species have. They did a great job on those, how they are actually molded to the head, and they will hang there, but they're not gonna like flap around or anything. I really like that detailing. On them, they captured the little bits of brown of clothing, I think, of whatever she has wrapped around them. That's really cool. They did a good job on her face. I really like the face detailing they did there. And yeah, I think they did a really good job on this figure. For her accessory, she comes with her lightsaber, and they did a good job capturing her lightsaber hilt design. And then it just comes with a blue beam. That's really cool. And you can actually fit it in both of her hands at the same time. I've actually tried this and am able to manage fitting her lightsaber in both of her hands at the same time. Not a lot of Jedi have that feature. So that's pretty cool, as you can see. And then another thing I really like about her figure, they gave her amazing posability for this figure. For example, you can put Aayla in several different poses, and she actually stands up very nice. I think they did a good job on all of that. I just really like what they did with this figure. I think they did an amazing job on it. And I think they really did capture the character of Aayla Secura. I think this is a good figure to add to your collection. I'm easily giving this figure a 10 out of 10. And if you can collect other figures like, say, Commander Bly, they go along great together. So, yeah, I would really recommend you pick up an Aayla Secura figure, because she's one of those Jedi like Plo Koon from the prequels, who she's actually added onto a lot through the other stuff, like the animated shows and the comics, and it makes you care a lot more about her character during Revenge of the Sith, during Order 66. She's actually one that I really care about because of her episode in Clone Wars, but also there's one comic book I've read that I really like of her and a battle droid having to team up on Endor. I really think you should check that comic out if you haven't read it yourself. That's a good one. And yeah, so just some final thoughts I have on the figure. I really like it. They even did a good job of how her articulation doesn't come off looking weird, like it still kind of looks like her skin. That's pretty cool. And she has some great articulation in the figure. Like I said, she has good posability and doesn't just fall down. And you can come up with a bunch of cool stances to pose your figure in. But yeah, 10 out of 10 figure. Those are kind of my final thoughts on the figure. This is Grand Admiral Thrawn Fan signing off, and I look forward to our next encounter in my next video. No, wait, I already slapped Bly away in his video. Ooh, wait, I got a better idea. Okay, this is Grand Admiral Thrawn Fan signing off, and I look forward to our next encounter in my next video.